Yes, students, today we have to discuss the group 16 elements. Group 16 means which family? Can anybody answer? Yes, group 16 means which family? Unmute and talk. See, it's a group 1, it is 2, it is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Likewise, continue and tell me group 16 means which family? Who is a leader? Who is a representative of that group 16 element?
Oxygen.
Exactly. This is oxygen family. It is a group 16 family, group 16 elements about which we have to discuss now. Which elements are there? Let me know those elements. The first is oxygen. Atomic number is 8. Second is sulfur. Atomic number is 16. Third one is selenium. Atomic number is 34. Next one, tellurium. Atomic number 52. And last one is a polonium, atomic number 84. Actually, one more element is here below the polonium, but whatever the old periodic tables are there, that I am what following. This polonium study also we are not doing in detail. The reason is availability, that's a time duration for which that element can exist, is a radioactive element. And therefore, we are what not discussing in detail about the polonium and the one element which is here, which is not represented. So we'll focus our discussion on this first element, that's oxygen, sulfur, selenium, and tellurium. And afterwards, certainly there is a polonium. In your syllabus, strictly they have mentioned their electronic configuration and physical properties of these elements. So that only we have to discuss. So before starting to study any group, you should know the elements and their electronic configuration. Now let me talk about the electronic configuration. These are group 16 elements. So for group 16 elements, what can be the general electronic configuration? Can anybody answer? Generally, what happens? Any noble gas remains. That can be the helium, that can be neon, that can be argon, that can be krypton, that can be xenon, or that can be radon. But here radon we will not use because that element we are not considering. So after completing that noble gas, then the next period, such period, for example, if I consider helium as a noble gas, atomic number 2, the next period, that's a second period, element will start where s orbital will fill. So I can represent there what? Ns. And after Ns, next which orbitals will be fulfilled here? The p orbitals. So that will be the Np. So in Ns orbital, there will be the 2 electrons, and in Np, I want help from you. How many electrons will be there? See, here the p orbital starts. Here first electron will enter. Here second electron will enter. Here third electron will enter. And here in that p orbital, the fourth electron will enter in this group 16 elements. So I want answer from you. How many electrons are there in p orbital? Yes, waiting for reply. Yes, may I know what is the problem? Yes, students, what happened? Why am I not getting replies? Am I audible to you? Ismail has given reply. Ismail is saying 6 electrons are there in p orbital. I am talking about group 16 elements. How many electrons will be there? One representing element you can consider oxygen. Electronic configuration also I have shown there. Number of electrons only are represented. Only you have to count those electrons which I had represented there. That was a simple task. Lower KG student also can answer the counting. Simple counting you have to do. Electrons are represented. No, students, see, suppose if you don't want to reply, then it is better not to remain present for lecture. If any problem is there, bring it to my notice. I am not audible, or you could not understand the question. I have to repeat the question, then ask. But don't keep mum, don't keep silence. Yes, I want to know what's the problem. Karthika, what's the problem?
Sir, I had network issues, so I couldn't hear the question.
Then why you not ask? You have to ask, no? Ismail, what's the problem?
Hello.
Yes, what is the problem? Why had you not replied?
Hello.
By unmuting, you have replied, but in the text box you replied. Means I came on the screen of that that's recording.
No
Google
problem.
Meet.
No
You have
problem.
to talk. No? Ankita, what is the problem? Ankita has given the text box. Unmute and talk. Any problem to unmute and talk? Poonam, what's your problem? In text box, I think you said that's a recording is a problem or network is a problem. Yes, Ankita, could you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Then why you not replied? See, if question is not clear, you have to ask. Means I want the students here who can what the pay somewhat. The network issue is there. I have to understand. I should. I will. But if no a single reply, then I can't understand. Ismail has given reply, but in the text box he has given reply. Yes, who is there further? Punam is there, I think. Oh, Ganesh is there. Ganesh, what's the problem? Yeah, but now you are in network, no? You can unmute and talk. Is it clear? Yes, students, are you following? If network issue is there, then I can understand. But whenever you will come in network, and if I'm waiting for you, then you can ask, what's the question? Network issue was there. Is it clear to all? Yes, at least reply now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ganesh, unmute and talk because I want replies in that way. If problems are there to unmute, some disturbances are there, then let me know about that. But you have to unmute and talk. It is my expectation. Ankita, Ganesh, unmute and talk.
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay. Okay. Again, you can mute yourself. No problem. Ankita, could you talk?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yeah. Okay. Now, mute yourself, and if I ask question, reply. Let there be the few students. I have no problem, but I want those attentive students. If it is clear to you, it will be clear to what the others also. Therefore, I am expecting this. If I am wrong about my expectation, then also bring it to my notice. So I repeat my question. Listen carefully. I was presenting the screen here. I have shown you a different groups, and you have answered the oxygen family, group 16. That elements we are discussing. That's oxygen family. Oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium. These are the elements. Now I am talking about the electronic configuration. And for electronic configuration, what I discussed, I told you that after noble gas, say this is a noble gas, helium. Afterwards, this second period will start to fill. Here, electrons are there in s orbital. Electrons are there in s orbital. So I represented there ns2. Afterwards, electron will enter in the p orbital. So here will be the first entry of the electron. So that electron I can represent here. Here will be the second entry of the electron that I represented here. Here is the third entry of the electron that I represent here. And here in oxygen, it is our fourth electron in p orbital. Student, my question was, how many electrons are there in outermost p orbital? See this electronic configuration and you can answer. How many electrons are there in outermost p orbitals?
10.
See, Ismail, you have to count these electrons. Whichever electrons are there in front of you, I have represented this as a one electron. I represent by others. See, here there was a one electron. Here there was a second electron. Here is a third electron. Here is a fourth electron. Electrons are shown in front of you. I am asking how many electrons are there. Here in p orbital, how many electrons I had represented? That's my simple question. This portion you have to think about that. Those many electrons will be the in outermost p orbitals. I will not move next unless you answer.
4.
Exactly. 4 electrons are there. Here these 4 electrons are there. Ismail, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So electronic configuration for group 16 element will be after noble gas ns2 and np4. In p orbitals there will be 4 electrons, and those 4 electrons will be arranged in this way. Here 2 electrons are there, 1 electron and 1 electron. So 2 unpaired electrons are here, and because of those 2 unpaired electrons, it can form 2 covalent bonds a natural way. If hybridization is undergoes, the chances will be different. Just wait, let me see who wants to enter. Alia. So these are the group 16 elements about which we have to discuss. Now just wait. Yes, see now the electronic configuration. For oxygen with atomic number 8, electronic configuration is helium 2s2 2p4. What I said to you, outer electronic configuration is ns2 np4. It is proved here. If you see sulfur, atomic number is 16. Electronic configuration after the next noble gas, that's a neon. Electronic configuration is 3s2 3p4. If I see the next element, selenium, here what happens? D orbitals are entered there. Transition series elements are there in between. First transition series where electrons will enter in a 3d orbital. So after completing a noble gas, argon, then 3d10, 4s2, 4p4 is its electronic configuration. Next element is tellurium, atomic number 52. Here, after the next noble gas, that's a krypton. Now electrons will enter in now which orbital? 3d was the first transition series. Now it is what? The second transition series. That is the 4d10 electron will be there. After that, electron will enter in the 5s orbital, 2 electrons, and in 5p, 4 electrons are there. If you come to polonium, then electron will enter in xenon. Afterwards, in addition to the d block element, f block elements are there. Those you are studying, lanthanoids you have studied. So f orbital, which f orbital is involved there? 4f orbital. How many electrons will be included in that 4f orbital? 14 electrons. Afterwards, transition series, 10 electrons in 5d orbital, and then 6s2, 6p4. Anyhow, ns2, np4 is a outermost electronic configuration for these group 16 elements. So electronic configuration, how to represent that I have shown here. If on the basis of periodic table, if you want to see that electronic configuration, then come here in the periodic table. You will find the first element here is a oxygen. Here see, first element here is a oxygen. If you want to write electronic configuration, then you will consider the noble gas nearest before noble gas, that's a helium. After helium, electron will enter in this s orbital, that's a 2s orbital, 2 electrons, and in this p orbital there will be the 4 electrons. So helium 2s2, 2p4 is electronic configuration for the oxygen. If I have to talk about the sulfur, the next element, then its electronic configuration, the nearest noble gas, previous noble gas, that's a neon. After completing neon, 2 electrons will enter in this sodium and magnesium, means it is a third s orbital, 3s orbital. Afterwards, 4 electrons will enter in here, first electron, second electron, third electron, and fourth electron in the 3p orbital. So its electronic configuration is neon, then 3s2, 3p4. Students, are you following what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
good. If I have to talk about the next element, that's a celium. Its electronic configuration, nearest previous noble gas, that's a argon. See here interestingly, s orbital is there certainly. Which orbital? 4s orbital. How many electrons? 2 electron. Interesting thing is, after s, here are now 10 d orbital elements, transition series element, 3d10. That will be the electronic configuration that I said, no? It is because of this here, 3d10. 10 electrons will be involved in this first transition series elements from scandium to zinc. After that 3d elements, the electron will start to enter in our usual p orbital. Here, gallium, first electron, germanium, second electron, arsenic, third electron, and in selenium, fourth electron. So electronic configuration for this selenium, if I have to write, then how can I write electronic configuration for the selenium? Nearest noble gas, help me. Which noble gas I have to consider for selenium?
Krypton.
No, the element which is before that. Krypton is after selenium, no? I want that noble gas which is before that element. Krypton atomic number is 36. Selenium atomic number is 34. I can't go ahead. I have not those many electrons. So previous noble gas I want.
Argon.
Exactly. The previous noble gas is argon. After argon, electron will enter in these s orbitals. What is the name of this s orbital? Where electrons are entering in this potassium and calcium. Which s orbital it is? It is first period, it is a second period, it is a third period. Now I am talking, this is a fourth period. So which s orbital? Here there is a 1s, here there is a 2s, here there is a 4s. Right, it is a 4s orbital. How many electrons will be there? Here is the first and second. So 2 electrons in that 4s orbital. After that 4s, yes, here electrons are in which orbitals? After 4s, in those elements, I have represented C by black ink. Which orbital it is?
D
I had
orbital.
d orbital, but which d orbital? Which shell? What is the shell number? What is the principal quantum number for the d orbital? It is the first transition series. These elements are first transition elements. Which orbital that I represented? See above that those elements. The name of the d orbital, because s orbital, p orbital, d orbital, the first d orbital. Where d orbital starts? In first shell, there is no d orbital. In second shell, s and p. In third shell, s, p, and d. Yes, then tell me which d orbital?
3D.
Exactly
3D.
that. How else? Yes, I represented. The answer was in front of you. Yes, it is what? 3D10. After 3D10, now electrons will enter in p orbital. First electron, second electron, third electron, and fourth electron. Now answer for my question. Which p orbital is there? See here, as like the answer you answered for yes, no, same. That p orbital depends upon that period number. It is a first period, it's a second period, third period, and it's a fourth period. So which p orbital it is?
4p4.
Exactly, 4p orbital, and there are the 4 electrons. So this is the electronic configuration for selenium. If I have to come to the next element, say tellurium, then in tellurium, the previous noble gas, nearest noble gas will be krypton. 36 electrons will be there. After krypton, electrons will enter in this s orbital. Which s orbital? Yes, will you help me? Which s orbital now? What is the period number? Rubidium and strontium, in which s orbital last electrons will enter?
4s.
See, it is the first period, it is the second period, it is the third period, it is the fourth period. I am talking about rubidium and strontium. This period. Electrons enter which orbital? Yes, after 4s, which s orbital?
5s.
Exactly, 5s orbital. After that 5s, electrons will enter in these d orbital element, d block element, transition series element. Which transition series will be fulfilled there? 3D already you have considered. Now which will be here? Which will be here after 3D?
4.
Exactly, 4D. So you will write its electronic configuration krypton. This will consider. Then 5s2, 4d10. Then p orbital. Which p orbital? And how many electrons for tellurium? Which p orbital will you consider? Simply see, here was 2p orbital. Here was 3p orbital. Here was 4p orbital. Now my question is here. Which orbital will be involved?
5p.
Exactly. Simple question it was. 5p. How many electrons will be there in 5p?
4.
Yes, as usual, 4. First electron, second electron, third electron, fourth electron. So electronic configuration for tellurium I discussed. Now I want your rigorous help. I want to write electronic configuration for polonium. Atomic number of polonium is 84. So what will be electronic configuration? Which nearest noble gas I have to consider?
Xenon.
For polonium, yes, right, xenon. Afterwards, which s orbital I will consider for these two elements?
6s.
6.
Exactly, 6s orbital. Afterwards, these f orbital elements will come. Those are not represented here. Which are those? Lanthanoids. And in lanthanoids, in f orbital, electrons do enter. How many electrons? 14 electrons. And which f orbital for lanthanoids? Which f orbital will be there for lanthanoids?
4f.
Exactly, here 4f orbital electrons are fulfilled, and here 14. After that, but one more element is that's a lanthanum. So including that, that's lanthanum, 2, hafnium, that's a thallium, and last is what? Mercury. In these d block elements, which d orbital is fulfilled? In which d orbital electrons are entered? Here in these orbitals, which d orbitals are fulfilled? Here was 3d, here was 4d. Now I want your help. Which d orbital?
5d. 5d.
Yeah, exactly, 5d, and 10 electrons will be there. 10 elements are there, right from the lanthanum to mercury. After that 5d, electrons will enter in this p orbital. Which p orbital?
6p.
Exactly, 6p orbital. So let me write electronic configuration for polonium. The nearest previous noble gas somebody has answered, that is xenon, whose atomic number is 54. After xenon, electrons are going to enter in The s orbital. And which s orbital? 6s orbital. How many electrons? 2 electrons. Afterwards, electrons are going to enter in the inner transition series element. First inner transition series element. Yes. Which orbitals are there? Help me. You have answered already.
4.
Which total? Correct orbital.
4f14.
Yes, 4f14. After 4f14, what shall I write? This transition series element, the electronic configuration. What shall I write? Which orbital?
5d10.
Yes, d10 electrons. Afterwards, which orbital? Here, from thallium to polonium.
6p4.
Brilliant answer. 6p4. So, electronic configuration for this polonium that I had informed to you. See here, this electronic configuration for polonium. Likewise, you can write the electronic configuration for the other elements and you will understand. Other elements, all elements I discussed. In the table also, you can represent their electronic configuration. And you will understand this electronic configuration. So is the first point which was in the syllabus, that's electronic configuration. Is it clear to you? Outermost electronic configuration, if you have to see, then you will find here 2s2 2p4, here 3s2 3p4, here 4s2 4p4, 5s2 5p4, 6s2 6p4. Means in general outer electronic configuration is ns2 and p4 is a outermost electronic configuration for group 16 element. So students, I am asking question to you, is this point of electronic configuration clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now let us understand elements one by one. About that, they are the physical properties we have to discuss. The first element, that is oxygen. Now see the properties for that element, that's oxygen. The symbol for that element is what? O. What is its physical property? It is colorless, odorless gas. What is its use? Respiration for animals. And this oxygen, after respiration, converted to carbon dioxide. Of course, carbon should be there, then only, otherwise only oxygen cannot. For reaction, carbon also is necessary. And this oxygen exists as a diatomic molecule. Also, it can exist as triatomic molecule in traces, in small quantity. And triatomic space. Diatomic species means what? Oxygen. The triatomic species means what? Yes, your name is there in front of you. Triatomic species means, yes, help me, what's the name?
Sulfur.
Oxygen we are
Sulfur.
talking. We are talking about oxygen. Oxygen triatomic. O3 means what? What's the name?
Ozone.
Ozone.
Yes, it is ozone. So what we learn now, it is a colorless, odorless gas. Who? Oxygen. How it remain present? It remain present in two forms. One, a diatomic, and other triatomic species. Diatomic species means O2. Triatomic means O3, which has ozone. Diatomic means oxygen molecule. And in addition to that, a further information is given. So oxygen combines readily with many elements. It's a very reactive element. And during combination with other element, evolution of heat, means energy, will take place. And that process we see as combustion. Simply in kitchen, whatever the gas we burn, yes, which gas remain present in LPG cylinder? Majority gas that you burn. And because of that, you get exothermic reaction, heat. And because of that, you are doing cooking. So in LPG cylinder, which gas do remain present? Please help me repeat.
Butane.
Exactly. Butane.
Propane.
No, butane. Butane in more quantity. And if you say biogas, in case of biogas, methane will be in abundance. So this gas, when they combine with oxygen, they undergo combustion. The process is called combustion. And during combustion, the heat generates. Heat comes out. So delta H, enthalpy change, will be negative. Exothermic reaction. So it's a specialty of the oxygen. So in oxygen, if I have to talk about the oxygen, then for oxygen, what study we did, just see. First point is representation. How we represent that oxygen? We represent oxygen as O. How it is? Colorless, odorless gas. It is used in respiration. And during respiration, what? happens? Oxygen gets converted to carbon dioxide. It exists in two forms. One is diatomic, O2, and other is triatomic, that is O3. O3 means it is ozone, and it combines with many other elements to form a combustion reaction. This combustion reaction, and what is the result of combustion? The evolution of heat. Is that first element oxygen clear to you now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now see
Yes, sir.
the next element, that's a sulfur. And see students, I am not giving study material for you. You have to find it on the net, or you have to go through this lecture and you will get. If you want, in between you can take snapshots also. Next element is sulfur. Now see its properties. It is denoted by symbol capital S. How it is a non-metal. Oxygen also is a non-metal, and it ranks ninth on the basis of cosmic abundance. Means in our cosmic, means it is not only the universe also. Completely I have said what the cosmic abundance. It is ninth, one of the important element, that is sulfur. About one atom in every 20,000 to 30,000 atoms is sulfur atom. Means about the abundance they are saying that if you find any 30,000 atoms, in that a sulfur will be there. One means randomly, suppose if you find. Means in order to show its abundance, because ninth means exactly the concept doesn't make clear, no? So here it is made what the clear. And it is found in a combined state as well as free state. Majority means if you see the air, SO2, SO3 gases, you might be knowing. Just wait, let me see who wants to enter. Pratiksha. It can be in combined as well as in free state. And see here, about 0.09% of sulfur is found where? In sea water. For aquatic life also is important. The meteorites contains 12% of sulfur, and large amount of sulfur is found where? In underground deposits, and where majority remains in the pure form, in dome-like structure. It's a dump like that sulfur you will find there in the underground. Here sulfur is formed by the action of anaerobic bacteria on the sulfate minerals such as gypsum. Means we can obtain, means how naturally it is going to occur in nature, that anaerobic bacteria are there. Those convert the sulfate minerals, means how the carbonate, the chlorides, likewise sulfate minerals remain. So those sulfate salts are converted to sulfur. So nature's gift. Combined product is there. From that we are getting what? The sulfur. Majority remains in the pure form. It is the information about the sulfur. So what we studied about the sulfur, its symbol capital S. How it is non-metal. What is abundance? It's a ninth in the cosmic. In order to give the explanation for abundance, it is given one equation. In 20,000 to 30,000 atoms, one sulfur atom will be there. It is importance, or it is abundance of the sulfur. So any random atoms, if you consider 30,000 atoms, then one sulfur will be there. And sulfur is found in the combined state. Sulfate is a combined state of sulfur, combined form of sulfur. How its existence? 0.09% in sea water. In meteorite, how much it is? 12%. And large amount of sulfur is underground. And how it is obtained? It is obtained by anaerobic bacteria who perform action on whom? Sulfate minerals. Example they have given, gypsum. That's a calcium sulfate and magnesium sulfate. These are the major components of the gypsum. So if I were to repeat, symbol capital S, non-metal, ninth rank, means one atom you will find in the 20,000 to 30,000 in random atoms, abundance 0.09% in seawater, and in case of meteorites it is 12%, and largely it is in what? The earth, in the dome kind of form it will be, and it can be obtained by action on sulfate minerals like gypsum. By whom? Anaerobic bacteria. So is the explanation for sulfur clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good, very good. First time I am getting the sound reply. Now see the next element, that's a selenium. How selenium is? It is a rarer than oxygen or sulfur. Means it is not so abundant. It is found in free state as well as combined state. It is heavy metal like lead, silver and mercury. And heavy metal from physiology point of view also are the very important, or from harm point of view, toxicity point of view also are what the important. Okay. It is a gray metallic form of the selenium is the most stable. Means allotropes are there, gray form. Gray form is one of the allotrop element. Gray metallic form of the selenium is the most stable form of the element under the normal condition. Okay, for selenium, they have given the very short information. So now pay attention towards that, what the discussion. What we have discussed about that, the selenium, it is rarer than oxygen and sulfur. It occurs in pre as well as combined state. It is one of the heavy metal like lead, silver and mercury. A gray metallic form of the selenium is the most stable in normal conditions. Is this information about selenium clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now see the next element, that is what the tellurium. About tellurium, see the information. Tellurium is an element having atomic number 52. Okay, this is, you can add for any other elements also. And it has property between metals and non-metals. Can anybody help me? What we do say for such element whose properties are in between metals and non-metals? It is not perfectly metal as well as non-metal. What we say for such element?
Metalloids.
Yes, absolutely.
Metalloids.
Yes, metalloids. So tellurium is metalloid. It is the rarest stable elements found in the earth crust. Rare earth, previously they were causing what the different name is, abundance is very less. They have the somewhat more abundance, but different name is there for. Previously they were considering as what the rare elements. Therefore the still we are carrying that the name, that's rarest. And rarest few elements are there. Among the stable elements, it is one of the stable element. It is found in free state as well as combined state. Means as like the sulfur also, free state, and combined state means sulfate form or oxide form likewise. And with whom it combines with copper, lead, silver or gold. Again the heavier elements. If the basis of this you have to understand why they are forming the elements with copper, lead, silver, gold. Same is the case for the selenium also. It is because of one principle that already you studied, HSAB. Will anybody answer what is SSAB long form? You studied that. HSAB principle also you might have heard. HSAB means what? H for hard, S for soft.
Soft, Lewis acid and bases.
Exactly. Don't bring Lewis there. Lewis is not the has no role to play there. Hard and soft, acids and bases. Brilliant answer. Acids and bases. And there one principle was there, and that principle was Pearson's principle. Have you heard this name before? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Heard.
I want further two replies at least.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What Pearson's principle says, the hard acid prefer to combine with hard base, and soft acids prefers to combine with soft base. And whatever our elements, those are discussed here, copper, lead, silver and gold, these are soft acids. They will combine with a soft base. Who is a soft base? Tellurium, tellurides, like I say. T-2 ion is a soft base. So because of that Pearson principle, this copper, lead, silver and gold, those do combine with the tellurium. See, gold also prefers. With oxygen, gold will not show that much affinity because oxygen is a strong base. But with tellurium, gold shows somewhat more affinity and the compounds can be obtained. So about tellurium, its tendency. So, and after all, it depends upon its physical properties. Its size, its electronegativity, its metallic character, all those are responsible for its strain, that's acid strain or the basic strain, and accordingly combination. So for tellurium, what we discuss, its atomic number 52. It is metalloid, means it is between metals and what non-metals. It is one of the stable element found in the earth crust. It occurs in free state as well as compound state. And compounds means with whom it forms compounds. It forms compound with a class B kind of metals, copper, lead, silver and gold. Why for? As per Pearson's principle, because these are the soft acids. So telluride, which can be the soft base, and the combination between them will occur and form stable compounds. So students, is the discussion of tellurium clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, now see the last element, that is polonium. It is the rarest element. It is a radioactive element used in scientific applications for alpha radiation. Means X-rays, you might be knowing, X-ray machine remains or X-ray source remain. Likewise, many times, means in industrial point of view also, is alpha radiation is important. And for alpha radiation, this polonium is used. If you remember properly, Rutherford's alpha particle scattering experiment, and there I had given the information to you. A source for alpha particle can be polonium or can be radium. Which polonium? This polonium, group 16 element. So this much information for the polonium is what the sufficient. So what we studied about the polonium, it is the rarest element, radioactive, and it is used to find alpha radiations, or it is used as a alpha radiation source. Is the explanation about the polonium clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, students. Now I think your next lecture may be there. So we will discuss it what the next time. Shall I stop now?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
I'm not getting replies. Okay, I came on the screen, Google screen. Okay, fine. So inform others also. It is very interesting, and you have to respond. See, here suppose a student who responds remain present now, then that will help for others also while studying. Those who are remaining present, for them also certainly helpful, and those who because of many other issues are not able to attend, they also will get. So I want here the students who are attentive, who are responding. At the beginning, very, very poor responses were there. I have wasted almost half an hour there. But later on, you were talking. It's a very good thing. Keep it up. Is my expectation clear? Alia, Kartika, Ganesh, Ankita, Ismail?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Yes, when I present, then you have to give the reply. Now here, you can give the reply by message, text message also. Okay, fine, students. Now I stop my presentation and I declare here today's session is over. Quit now.